I want to put this big on the screen. Right, so I dropped this video, yeah? I dropped this video. SJW reacts to, which some of these people still don't get, that I obviously write that as a title because people hate SJWs, especially these racist people, to trigger them to comment. They go, oh my god, you're getting rinsed in your comments. Yeah, that's what I wanted you to do, you donuts. Don't you realize, like, hater views and hater comments pay the same? YouTube pays the same amount for both of you. But yeah, you know, that's part of the reason I want to do I want to do music stuff. I do want to do positive stuff, get the people who want to show love on it as well. Because look, I got 240 comments here on this, right? So I did a video anyway about this guy, Paul Thorpe. I'm not going to tell the whole story again. You can go and watch it. He's a watch dealer. I liked his page. Notice he's doing loads of weird like anti-immigration content. But he actually came and left a comment. So I want to address this straight away, because I was going to say it was the first time one of the people I've called out has responded. It might be directly, but we did get Katie Hopkins to respond in her own way already. But anyway, Paul Thorpe, this is what he said. Mate, couple of things. One, I am not Islamophobic and I have many Muslim friends. This is always the funniest one, right? This is always the funniest one, because it's like, okay, you want to say you have Muslim friends, you have black friends when you're called racist, to explain that you're not. And I get on one level where you think that makes sense. But for one, someone can have Muslim friends and still be Islamophobic, yeah? So don't be so stupid to think that they couldn't. You could have a Muslim partner and a black partner and still be racist and Islamophobic. Like, you can have a woman partner and still be misogynistic. It's not how it works. Like, it shows a very juvenile understanding of the basics when they say that. Secondly, we have established this as like a joke. It's a running joke. When someone says, oh, I'm not racist, I've got black mates, everyone laughs at them. Like, everyone who's not racist, like, idiot. I'm saying, like, oh, so, and you have to know that. Like, to be a grown adult in this world conversating about any of this, there's no way on earth you've never heard before that that's the stupidest thing to ever say. So just on the basis, even if you still think it's a good excuse, just on the basis that you know all other people laugh at you when you say that and it's the worst excuse going, and that's how they feel about it. That's how black people feel about it. That's how Muslims feel about it. They all feel like that's the stupidest excuse ever. So why would you go to the fact you say that just shows quite a lack of, like, just a lack of basic awareness. Like, you're not understanding the room and who you're talking about. Anyway, and he says, all right, it's like, I have many Muslim friends, many of whom agree with my stance against terrorism and grooming gangs. Okay. As I already said in the video, white men in the UK are the biggest group to have grooming gangs. That's a fact. So if we're going to target it based on race, white men would be the target. Even Tommy Robinson admits that. White terrorism, again, there's white terrorists. They don't always call it terrorists. So again, the word terrorism itself is a racism issue, because we only call people terrorists when they're not white, majority of the time. Okay, 2, being anti-illegal migration isn't right-wing, it's common sense. If you hadn't stooped to calling me a moron, I would be more than happy to come on and answer your... Hold on. Why ain't it letting me see the rest? It said answer your questions. It's not letting me click to see more for some reason. Why does that's like a glitch? But I think that was the gist of his comment basically anyway. I'm just going to refresh it just in case, but it's going to make the video play. Don't want to hear the audio. Oh, there we go. Let's change the color of it. Random. Oh yes, just because of the time. If you hadn't stooped to calling me a moron, I would have been more than happy to come on and answer your questions. Usual low-level abuse from the far left. Another idiot talking about far left. Anyway, whoops. Now I've called him an idiot. Called him a moron. Because I was trying to show my response. Because I did acknowledge that part. And I just addressed some things to you know, break it down to what the issue is. Can I move that across a bit? Yes, I can. Boom. Alright, so your video doesn't mention illegal migration once, which it did not even once. It quite clearly indicates that it is about a wide group that you fear to mention by name. Watch the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. If that was just illegals, then it would be easy to say terrorism and grooming gangs are both committed by English white people, but when that happens, their race and culture is not highlighted. Muslims and Asian people, on the other hand, always do have race and culture and religion mentioned. That is the point blank definition of racism: to discriminate based on race, to treat differently when exactly the same thing happens. And there are factually more white grooming gangs in the UK. Even Tommy Robinson will tell you that. I take on your point about name calling. I just find blatant racism and Islamophobia abhorrent. And you can say you're not Islamophobic all you want. It's a fact based on what I outlined above. I've got Muslim friends is the last thing anyone who understands discrimination would say. It's literally a running joke that all racists say that. I would sit down and talk with you though. Used to love your channel and been very disappointed I had to unsubscribe. I mean, I covered quite a lot of what I was saying there already, but I just wanted to show what I kind of responded to him. And also this part, I then thought, also you mentioned in your video about us giving them housing. So you are clearly not talking about illegals. Just be honest about it, mate. Yeah, because that's the fact. When you actually look at the details of the video, he's not talking about illegal immigration or illegal migration at all. He's talking about all Muslims, yeah, and groups of specific Asians that are here. And he might be talking about all immigration, to be honest, because he talks about how much money goes into housing them. So you're not talking about illegal immigration at all. Like, not even in the slightest. So now I've caught him out, basically. Red-handed. You came here with your excuse and you're lying. So simple as that. But look, and he ignores my response. Some couple of his fans coming out, because I pinned that on the video, obviously. Thanks, mate. Blah, blah, blah. And a couple of his mates tried to go at it with me. I'm not going to go into that now. What I am going to do is I'm gonna delve into a bit more of his content. Did I already open that tab? I did. Alright, let's delve into one more of his videos while we're here, right? Just to let's explore this a little more, because I just did one video at random before. What have we got? Extremism to be defined, but for who? 2.5 minutes. That's a short video, so maybe I'll do this and one other. Alright, let me know in the comments that you hear this, so I know the sound's all good when this starts playing.
Welcome back, everyone. So the government is preparing to unveil a new official definition of extremism this week. Michael Gove, the Community Secretary, is expected...
Let me just make a prediction. Remember to let me know in the comments about the sound, but let me just make a prediction. He's worried that the extremism that they're going to be defined by the government this week is going to be aimed at white people and the white extremists on the far right, because that's who he is. And yeah, they love playing victim. Oh my God, they're victimizing us. They're calling us extremists, but they don't want to go at the other extremists, blah, blah, blah. Johnny Coombs said, big up the raggy dolls. It's a trope I joke on. Yeah, I saw you tag me or something about that, but I didn't quite get it yet, bro. I'll have to check that out later.
...to outline the new definition in the coming days, and it will form part of a crackdown by...
Saying a bit quiet on the sound, yeah? Let's just turn him up a little. Get your sound sorted out, Paul. Yeah, you're looking like your channel quality is slipping out here, mate. I'm gonna boost him up a bit. Maybe we'll pull it back. Yeah, let's pull it back. It's only just started.
Welcome back, everyone. So the government is preparing to unveil a new official definition of extremism this week. Michael Gove, the Community Secretary, is expected to outline the new definition in the coming days, and it will form part of a crackdown by Rishi Sunak on Islamist extremism and far-right groups, with reports of hate speech and hate crimes increasing after Hamas's 7th of October attacks in Israel and Israel's response afterwards in Gaza. In a speech in Downing Street earlier this month, the Prime Minister claimed that recent protests on UK streets have been hijacked by small groups and have descended into intimidation, threats and planned actions of violence.
Oh, I don't want to keep predicting, because I seem like I'm a bit wrong already so far, right? But I've seen a number of videos on his thing, but that from the titles look like they're kind of supporting these kind of right-wing racist people going down to Palestine marches and causing trouble. And this is like what he's saying the government are kind of trying to address. And it seemed like he's kind of siding with them lot.
But here's a problem and a bit of a concern for us ordinary, regular, peace-loving Brits. Just who is ultimately going to be on the end of this new crackdown, and just what is all this far-right bullshit really all about? Because can anyone out there show me an active, well-organised, or even a bloody disorganised group of either political or just a few troublemakers from the so-called far-right? Who are they? Where are they?
You, mate.
Don't exist.
But yes, not organised.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith down the road at number 9, far right, just because they happen to be a bit concerned about illegal migration or they might vote for reform. These are not people from the far right, and they certainly...
Anybody who votes for reform or supports reform in any way is very far right. We live in a right-wing country with a right-wing government, a conservative right-wing government. Reform is far right of that. That's just a fact based on the political definitions of those meanings. So this guy just can't be honest about who he is. He wants to support reform, but he can't just be honest that that's a far right ideology and position. Just be real.
Aren't far right groups that gives anyone any concern. This is nothing but a myth created by the far left and dangerously and willingly perpetuated by the media. And there's another concern for us all. We've seen...
God, I love stopping everything every 5 seconds, don't I? Created by the far left, and he said far left in my comments again. There's no such thing as far left. Define far left, because we can define far right. It's you, and I can define why that is politically based on what those ideologies of left and right mean. Yeah, we can sit down, look at the definitions and do that. You can't do that with far left, because left-wing ideology in politics, and don't get me wrong, I hate left and right. I don't want to even identify as either of them. I don't care, do you know what I'm saying, because it gets misused. But there is no left-wing in mainstream politics pretty much at all. Like maybe when Corbyn was around, cool. Not now. There isn't in America. They call the Democrat Party in America left-wing. They're far right of centre. Far right of centre, not far right, but they're way right of centre. So, and compared to anything we have here, they're more right wing. So, these guys don't follow the actual definitions. They just kind of use them as buzzwords. And even him now saying that's not who I am, he's just manipulating the narrative. There is far left power come on the woke media, for example. There is no woke media, Paul closed. There's no such thing as woke media. The media is right wing. Like even The Guardian is a right wing paper. So it's nonsense. You guys just don't understand that there are articles being made about equality to trigger you. That's that's a right wing action, because they're doing it to wind up the racists. Or like the transphobes, or do all these trans articles. It's just done to wind you up, to get that kind of people riled up again from a right wing position. There's nothing going on that's actually really pushing anything left. Like there's nothing that doesn't exist. Said your opinion is wrong, but that's okay. It's not my opinion. That's the difference, Paul. Yeah, and this is not Paul Thorpe. This is Paul closed, unless he's popped up with a different account. This is the difference. I'm telling a factual definition of left and right wing. Like, this is a fact. These are words with meanings. It's a fact. I'm not giving you an opinion. What I'm saying is 100% factually correct. You're saying an opinion that's wrong, that's not accurate to what it actually means. No, there isn't left. No, Chris Hayes, there isn't left. There isn't any there's no mainstream left media. Yeah, there's no mainstream left. Of course, there's left media, but there's no mainstream left media or left media in power. The entire media is run by like the same people. It's all right wing.
How the BBC, for an example, are more than prepared. They're happy to throw around the far right label like cheap.
Yes, they throw around the label. They are still a right wing organisation. Anyone who doesn't think the BBC is right wing is an idiot.
Confetti to suit their anti-British agenda. Look, I think we can all agree that the time has unquestionably come for our lawmakers to make things
anti-British
unmistakably clear for all of us just what can we say these days? What are we allowed to think and say? Just how far can our opposition go to, say, certain religions and political ideologies without us breaking the law and getting ourselves into trouble? I'd like to know myself. But I have to say, I have a horrible feeling about all this, and I think there's a rather sinister inevitability about the whole thing. I think Michael Gove's new definition of extremism will probably just end up meaning that we can actually say even less than we can already, and the extremists of this world will get away with saying even more. We'll have to wait and see.
This is what it is. This is white privilege gone mental. That's what is with these people, right? The tiniest bit of pushback, because the media have to appear to be like kind of like level. The BBC tries to, you know, say that it legally has to be impartial and all of that kind of BS, but obviously it leans to the right wing in the end of it. And obviously, even when it presents the left wing stuff, like I've said, it's like done in a way to still make the right win in the end of it. But because these guys are so used to having all control, even just seeing a tiny little thing like that makes them have a heart attack and go, oh, so he's going, oh my God, they're gonna let all of the Muslim extremists get away with everything and they're just going to target us. What he's saying is, I want to be able to get away with my extremism and not be challenged. And when they get away with something, I feel victimized. It's just this white victimhood mentality, which is funny because the rest of the time they go around saying, "Oh, stop talking about racism. Stop playing victim." Let me just get him back on the screen. Go back on his channel. So that was just an assumption. You could see in that he was just fighting for his arguing for his right to be a right wing, to be far right and not be challenged, not be called an extremist. Here is it. Britain found a new hero, Lee Anderson, and this is a guy who just was a Tory MP, yeah, who's now either been sacked or something like that, and now he's gone to reform. So he's celebrating a Tory going more right wing, yeah. So yes, you're far right. Of course, you're far right. Police ignore terror supporters. How long is this video? I don't want to do one super long. London demo police, shocking moment, police assist eviction. Let's just go with that video because I want this double standards thing does look interesting. I know it's a bit long.
Get it right. I was in London yesterday, in central London, not far from the Palestinian protest. I was actually in London on a bit of separate business. And I have to be honest, look, if you're going to report on this stuff and you're going to be taken seriously by everyone, you've got to be balanced, you've got to be fair, right? You've got to tell it as it is. There's no point in exaggerating a story to try and prove your
well, let's see if he really does
the
that.
opposite can be proven, right? Now, I have to say that the Palestinian protesters, the pro-Palestinian protesters that I saw personally yesterday in and around the Victoria area were very peaceful. They didn't seem to be looking to cause any trouble. Most of them were like blue-haired university students. Many were obviously of Middle Eastern origin, but I didn't see what I would say were any obvious troublemakers. Certainly not that would require the amount of police presence, which was absolutely huge. I did a quick video when I came home last night from London. If you missed that, just check up. You'll see what I was saying. I mean, there was hundreds and hundreds of police officers around from all over the UK, costing the taxpayers millions of pounds. And I couldn't quite make out what for. And then when I got home, when I got back late in the evening, I saw the following video, which I'm sure you've now all seen and that has really shocked everyone. But there's a double-sided tale to this video, and I'll tell you what it is after we've had a quick look.
Right, before we just get into this, I just want to acknowledge, so he's trying to, I thought, let me see if he does really try and be double-sided, right? I mean, like, balanced, yeah, if you like, be balanced to both sides. He's acknowledging that Palestinian protest is very peaceful. I've been to the Palestinian protests. They're always very peaceful. Nothing like that goes on in any kind of unpeaceful way that it isn't caused by something where that seems like the necessary response. So yeah, it is mad that they're being policed so heavily. You see him getting into. Sorry, I haven't been following the text on the screen. You see him getting into a scuffle with nearby demonstrators while holding the banner. I can't quite tell what's going on here. Onlookers could be heard criticising the apparent double standard of the police treatment. CV, the push boy, he went from far left to very right wing. Axe mate. Oh, he's Axe mate. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into him then. We'll have to do something. Got another comment. Charlie V went on national news and lied about what he saw with the Ian Tomlinson situation where dude died after police pushed him over. It's mad. Most don't realise that part of his origin story. We're gonna have to look in on him. We've got a lot to cover today, but I'm gonna have to look in on him on another episode. So this is he's trying to say here. We'll hear what he says about it after. Yeah, but look, already saying compared to the softer approach taken towards the pro-Palestine protesters, you already just said the pro-Palestine protesters were peaceful. This guy was coming there you've literally come to a protest to start troubles. You're holding up a sign to counter their protest. You're trying to stop their protest. So you've come there for conflict. Of course you get treated differently. Sorry, I missed a few
It might
things.
surprise a lot of you that I'm actually going to say, and bear with me on this, because a lot of people are going to disagree to begin with, but I think you'll agree at the end. I have to say that I think the police were right to go in and extract this individual from that crowd. Why were they right to do that? Because they're there to stop
respect to him for that.
The peace. And this guy's presence in the thick of a lot of people who say they don't support Hamas, but then when pushed, i.e. with a provocative placard that calls
No.
then their true colours.
You can't make that connection. That's false. That's false and it's dishonest. You've told me he's there to. You just said in this video that he's there to breach the peace. They don't have to agree or have to be triggered by the message specifically. They could even be angry that he's trying to attribute Hamas to their peaceful protest. That's not, you can't push that thing together. Yeah, respect to him though. Respect to him for acknowledging that the guy should be extracted. You know what I'm saying, but you can't make a connection with that and say that they're supporting Hamas because they have an issue with the person who's come there to taunt them. That's not on.
Are revealed. So the police were right to go in and extract him. They were wrong to arrest him, which proved later to be the point when they released him without any charge. But I can see why the police went in and extracted this guy for his own safety, because it was proven, wasn't it?
For his safety.
It was proven that despite the claims that these protesters are all innocent people just wanting peace, that they're not terrorist supporters, they're not terrorists themselves, they're not there to support a prescribed terrorist organisation here in the UK. When push comes to shove, we see their true colours. They were going to attack.
Funny wording though, isn't it? When push comes to shove. So someone turned up and pushed me, so I shoved them. Yeah, like that person came there to cause trouble. He was the instigator.
This man, they were going to assault him. And it's those people.
You don't know they were going to assault him.
It's the guys that you'll see in the pictures.
You don't know he wasn't going to assault them. He was the instigator.
And shouting, shame on you. Shame on you for what? Shame on you for calling out a prescribed, recognised terrorist organisation here in the UK. Where were the police to arrest these individuals? Instead of just extracting safely the gentleman carrying the placard, they had to manhandle him, bundle him to the floor aggressively, a dozen officers or so treating him like he was the potential terrorist suspect, when the terrorist sympathisers were right in front of their very eyes, and once again they ignored them and allowed them to get away with their bile.
Because that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Dishonest.
Utter hatred for everything that Britain stands for. once again, they was allowed to get away with it. James Cleverly, the Home Secretary, said
They didn't do anything.
The Mayor of London.
There was no crime. There was no crime that happened. There was no, like, he's chatting rubbish. And the whole summary is just rubbish. I'm going to let it play a little bit more and then I'm probably going to cut and move because I'm done with this guy now, man.
You are responsible for the nation losing every single ounce of trust, belief and respect that we have in our police services right up and down the country. This has to stop, please. This has to stop. This two-tiered, terrorist sympathising policing system that is around, that's how it seems. It seems that they sympathise with these people. The other week, I said that they've worked their way into being almost a protected species, and this video just proves the goddamn point. They are a protected species, even when...
This guy, man. Literally, a person came to a protest to cause disruption and was removed by the police. He's literally here arguing for the right for people to go and disturb protests, to disturb peaceful protests. That's what he's arguing for. He's arguing for his right to go and be an instigator, to be an extremist, as we've seen when he brings up them stupid words earlier on.
When they're shouting illegal things, assaulting a guy that is against a prescribed terrorist organisation in the UK, the police will protect them. They have been protecting them. They are protecting them. They continue.
No. Because if he went and did that, if he went and had that protest elsewhere without going to actually target peaceful protesters for Palestine, then it wouldn't be an issue, would there?
This isn't a question of two-tier policing. This is a factual evidence, a statement on video of two-tiered policing here in the United Kingdom, and it has to stop. How much longer are the ordinary British public, people like myself who are fair-minded, tolerant, we want to see the war end in the Middle East ourselves. We don't want children of any nationality, of any race, of any religion being hurt.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
It's almost like the police are becoming our enemy. They're not here to police without fear or without faith.
This guy can just shut up, to be honest, man. Shut up. Fool. After I acknowledged calling him a moron and an idiot and saying that was wrong, I'm calling him a fool. My apologies. Respect. Whatever. No respect for what you're saying, though, because it's absolute nonsense.